Are you stuck in that place where you're obsessing over your contentious divorce from a narcissistic spouse? Have you gone down that rabbit hole where you just can't stop reading all the things from all the people who are in these toxic relationships or horrible drawn-out divorces where they are feeling so victimized and you can't stop? If that's what's going on with you, then you need to watch this video. But first, will you do me a favor and subscribe to my channel? That's how these videos are going to get in front of more of the people who really need to hear this information. I'm Victoria McCooey. I'm a narcissist divorce coach, a motivational speaker, and the creator of the Reclaim Your Power system. I help people every day who are right where you are, stuck in a toxic marriage to a narcissistic spouse, or already engaged in a contentious divorce from one. So I completely get it. You are obsessed with consuming all this information about what is a narcissist and all the other people who are in these same places where you are, in toxic relationships, in horrible marriages, in abusive situations, trying to fight for a way to get out, a way to save your children, all these things. I know, I was there. I remember, mine was a long time ago, so I didn't have Google or Facebook or any social media or anything, no internet. So I went to the library and spent an entire day reading through all the psychology textbooks about what this crazy thing was called narcissism that back then no one had ever heard of. It wasn't some mainstream term like people use today. Now everybody understands what it means. Everyone knows someone who they think is a narcissist, but I thought I was the only one. I thought nobody else had ever gone through anything like I was going through. So I totally understand how you want this community, how you want to commiserate with other people. So you're finding all these forums, all these Facebook groups or support groups or whatever to help you get through that. And that's great. That serves a definite purpose in helping you understand that you're not the crazy one and you're not the first one to have to go through this, and you certainly won't be the last. But here's what I see happening every day. I see people coming to me who are just down this rabbit hole, and it's perpetuating this misery. At some point, you have to start looking at a more productive way of dealing with this. So believe me, I'm not negating the need for you to have community around this and for you to get the information. Absolutely. But at some point, it too becomes toxic. So I know you know what I'm talking about. You're in these groups and people love to vent, and that's great. But I feel like there should be a time limit to how much time and energy you spend in this sort of environment, because some people really just get attached to that misery. They get attached to being the victim. It becomes their identity. And they can't move on or don't want to move on. They get stuck in this victim mentality that some of these groups can make go on and on and on, make it very easy for you to get stuck there. So the reason I'm doing this video today, not that I hadn't thought about this a lot before, but I had a client write to me today and say, it just paralyzes me with fear when I hear all these people in these groups that I'm in on Facebook talking about their experience and how it goes on for years and years and it never ends, and they feel like the court system just victimizes them again, and the court protects the abuser, and it just seems so unfair, and it's like a losing battle. And I'm so scared to even engage in this, even to go anywhere near this, because it just sounds like a horrible situation that there's just no way out of. And I'm so scared I'm going to be triggered and re-victimized all over again. And you know what I said to her? I said, the people who are in these groups are either freshies, they just came into this and they're just exploring it, or maybe they're stuck in this victim mentality. Think about the number of people who are chiming in on the negative side of this and how it goes on and there's no end and there's no hope in sight. Those are the people who have that experience. But what about all the people who don't have that experience, who get through it, who figure out how to persevere and get over the hump of how really bad it is and get to the other side and go on and find their happiness, find a new life, find all the freedom and excitement that they were hoping their life would be without the control and the abuse. Those people are not stuck in these forums talking about the misery. So she said that it felt like a weight had been lifted when she read this. Because of course, there are just as many and probably even more people who've gotten out, who've gotten to the other side, who aren't in these places writing all this negative stuff. They've moved on. They're in a better place. They're enjoying their life. They're happy. They're free. That really changed her perspective. She was like, wow, I want to be one of the ones who are not still in these groups bashing and complaining and agonizing. So I hope that you can see a way to get what you need from these groups, and they are very helpful. I am not discounting the need for these groups at all. I wish they had been there when I was going through it, because like I said, I thought I was the only one. And you need community when you're first setting out on this journey to know that you're not the only one. You're not the first one, you won't be the last one. You're certainly not the only one, and you can do it. You can get to the other side. And I think that's where these groups may fail you, is that they're not showing you that there is another life after this. That's what I set out to do when I first started helping people in this situation. I wanted to be like the poster child for this could happen to you and you can get through it. You can have a happy life outside on the other side of this. My journey after my divorce started with volunteer work. I started doing volunteer work for the Coalition Against Domestic Violence so I could give a face to someone who was a victim of domestic violence who went on to be completely healed and happy and productive. And that later turned into this full-time career of coaching people in that situation. It's exactly the reason I'm doing this. But I hate to see people getting stuck in the place where you don't even try to move on because you feel like there's no hope. If that is you, I hope that this speaks to you and that you will see that there is a way out. There is an end to the suffering. There is another life waiting for you on the other side of this contentious divorce or of this abusive relationship, whatever it is you're going through right now, and that you can be one of the people who don't stay in these groups forever. Don't let the groups scare you into thinking your situation is hopeless. Thanks so much for watching. I've linked a couple of other videos here that I think you might also like, so I hope I see you in the next video.